I've been recently gone through what's new in Haiku Depot. It is now time for me to say what I've been up to. And as you can see, yeah, I've got a few new applications here, as well as, let's see, a couple of updates. Not that many, but there are some. Okay, so let's just go through them, see what I've got for you. As always, URL in the show notes. T-Matrix is yet another screensaver for the terminal. A little bit of eye candy. And another one that does up the old matrix thing. And I think I've got 4 or 5 of them by now. This is a good one. It actually includes those kanji characters that you see in the original. And the shading is done quite nicely too. You know, varying the boldness and the coloring of these various characters. Right. What have we here? Talking calendar. There's a separate video on this, a first look, and probably has come out already by the time you see this video. Probably. Right, and it uses a text-to-speech interface that I never even knew we had in Haiku. But now that I know it, I'm going to see how I can make use of it. I think it's not the greatest text-to-speech interface. You know, if you're used to modern ones, then you're going to be disappointed. It's got a very machine-like sound. But, you know, I combine that with an app with a science fiction theme maybe, and restrict it to single words. I think it could be interesting. What's it called? Ah, there it is, eSpeak. So you do need to just go through these preferences to get it to talk at all. And for the rest, it's just a calendar, really. Okay, Lightpad, a code editor, yet another code editor. Now, why is this one up? Oh. This one's up because I realized that the one after this was not working. It wasn't showing any lettering in the menu bar. So until I've got a fix for that, you're gonna have to regress to this older version if you've been using it. Sorry about that. Not that I can do anything about it. Well, I could have been more careful. Right, ViewMD. Again, I've done a separate first look video on that. Lovely little thing. You know, does one thing, views markdown files. Doesn't use complicated libraries to do it. You know, it uses one library But most of these apps, what they do is they do a quick conversion to HTML and then they show it in a kind of cut down web browser. And this one doesn't do that. It does its own rendering, which makes it quite quick. Right, Cosmia. Okay, I've played this a little bit. This is a game. And it's one of those trading games. So you are the manager of a space mine. And you start off with a little bit of money and you have to buy stuff and use it to mine and make some money and then buy stuff again. It's like, do you remember Elite? Where you had to do this, you flew from one space station to another. The problem with Elite that I never could get into it was because it also had a combat version, and on your first trip you got hardly any weapons, hardly any speed, and so you basically die on your first mission. I mean, what is that? Right, and so this only has the trading part of that. Right, the Hebrew calendar. Don't tell anybody. This is a DOS application. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, DOS applications are just CLI applications. If they provide something that we don't otherwise have, then I'll package it. Right, and this one, convert common regular dates to Hebrew dates, or the other way around. Right, Yazide dates, I believe that's the time since somebody has died. Observances and holidays for the year, I've tested it, calculates it to about 2300. So if you really need a date after that, well, you may be in a little bit of trouble. Right, month relationships for year, right, that's between the Jewish calendar months and the regular calendar months. So, yeah, if you need this, you need this. And you now have it on Haiku. And if you say, oh, but this could easily be done in a native app, be my guest, write it. If you need somebody to host it for you, I'd be happy. Okay, snacks. Okay, a little tricky. So what you have to do here is click on 4 of the same color so that they make a rectangle. So you click here, 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 and here. So then everything in there would disappear. Oh, can't actually do that. Right. You get the idea. So purple, 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 right? And everything disappears and is replaced by new blocks. So you have to keep on doing this until you run out of time, basically. Good for 10 minutes. So it's a variation on the usual disappearing jewels, blocks, spheres kind of idea. And yeah, it was an enjoyable hour playing with this. Give it a try. Right, what else we got? Fu Yin. Okay, I only managed to compile this yesterday, but it is a genuine music manager. And as you can see, I don't have a lot of music on my computer, but it manages it. Now, most of these things get stuck on the fact that we don't have ELSA and we don't have pipe wire and all those normal Linux libraries. So how is this one playing? It's using SDL2. So yeah, I'm a bit chuffed about that. And also the interface is very adaptable. There's about 4 or 5 standard ones that you can choose from, or you can create your own. Maybe start off with one of the standard ones before you start with an empty block that you now have to put bits and pieces onto. But yeah, you can. You can. It's quite interesting. Okay. And oh no, you didn't. You didn't. Yes, I did. I got us another Tetris. You can never have too much Tetris. Tetris, Tetris, Tetris. Okay, this one uses SDL3. That's all I have to say about it at the time. But look, here's a little thing, hold. So with this one, if you're getting too many of those very useful long, thin pieces, then you can store them temporarily. Okay? And I have done that, and it works. I haven't quite figured out how to get it back into play again. Okay, so, but that should be possible too. But yeah, Tetris, 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 Tetris. And that's it for this episode. So yeah, it's a nice little mix-up of useful and completely useless little programs. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you again soon.